Good morning. It is a Thursday. Thank you, Jesus, for the day. Let's get into the video. Yesterday, we all went over to the White Oak kitchen remodel. We installed about 90% of the cabinets, and then we installed most of the trim. So Brandon and I think Jacob are going back today. They're going to finish the cabinets, finish the toe kick and shoe, and then they're going to start installing all of the doors. And then tomorrow, which is Friday, they'll put on the applied panel that we have to make today, and then they're gonna maybe finish the rest of the doors and drill the handles, and that job will be completed. Today we're starting a new series, a new kitchen remodel. I think we're gonna name it Alabaster Kitchen Remodel, because that's the color from Sherwin-Williams that this client's going with. Today I'm gonna start building the face frames. CNC's gonna start cutting out the cabinet shells, and then maybe we'll even start cutting out the drawer boxes and side panels, and we'll just see what we get into today. So it's gonna be a busy today. The CNC is cutting out our next set of cabinets for our next kitchen remodel. It's an Alabaster kitchen remodel. The whole kitchen is gonna be made from beech material, and it is going to be sprayed in our spray booth, sent through our oven, and it's a color called Alabaster. So Jacob's ripping down the material for our drawer boxes. Most of our pins and tails are cut. He's ripping out these bottoms. And then I'm gonna start cutting down our MDF for our skin side panels. Right here is my cut sheet that I made up. And then once Jacob's done with those bottoms, there's 8 more pieces to cut for our pins and our tails on our dovetail. So he's gonna cut that out of the 4-inch tall maple. That's how tall the boxes are. They're gonna be 4 inches, so he'll cut those. And then when I'm done with the skin material and he's done with the drawer boxes, we're gonna set everything aside. And then we'll start cutting out face frames. Jacob's already cut out probably 75% of the face frames out of beech wood. Super tight grain, super dense material, makes a great great paint wood. So that's those all right there. Then you get sent to the vertical belt sander, but there's probably like 5 more to cut, so we're gonna get those cut down once we're done with the skins and the drawer boxes. We're here cutting out my side panels for these custom Alabaster cabinets. I have this ripped down to rough size. Now I'm gonna finish it off. There we go. Come back down to here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Jacob's just double checking them. He has all the drawer box material cut out. So that way that's done. Then we're gonna start building all the face frames. 23 1/4, 35. That should be the last of those, Jacob. Okay, so now, now I got 2 big boys that are for this pantry situation. This kitchen remodel is gonna be a little bit odd. Not really, but we're keeping their fridge pantry area because the pantry costs a lot of money to redo, and they didn't want to do it, which makes perfect sense. But all their uppers, their new upper cabinets are going to the ceiling, so those cabinets need to go to the ceiling as well. So we're putting cabinets above cabinets, and then we have to add these side panels to make everything just look cohesive and look how it should. Oh, I got a veritable rip. That's not good. So I oversize it. That's my non-good side. So, move that out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, slightly over on these. And we're trying to put these skins with their existing cabinets, which aren't there we go, which aren't perfect. It's not necessarily the cabinet's fault, it's just like houses settle and stuff, you know. It's been 15 years, so I'm gonna kind of oversize these by a hair, and then when we get to the job site, they should fit, but worst case, we'll cut them down a little, make them fit perfectly. Okay. Those should be cut to width now. Now I just need to cut them to the height. And then 6 more after that. We now have our MDF skin side panels cut. They're ready for spray and being sent through the oven. Jacob's just doing the last ones, double checking. They all working out.
Oh yeah.
Should have 13. We have 13 right there. Should be good to go. Start ripping down some beech material to rough width, so that way Jacob can chop it on the chop saw, and then we can get these boards sent to the vertical belt sander and get them down to the exact size that we need. Craig them, start putting them together. Getting ready to rip down our beech material to rough width, so that way Jacob can chop it, and then we'll get it sent through the vertical belt sander to get it down to final width. Rookie move. Perfect. And another one. I don't want to rip down too much, because he has most of them already done, but I'm definitely going to need more than 3 boards. There we go. I'm going to go grab some more material. So that way then Jacob has enough so we can just be chop, chop, chop. And I can work on some other projects. He's almost done sanding down that MDF. I just like to get the grain matted down. So we do that, get out any imperfections in the material before it gets sent to the spray booth for some paint. We got all of our face frames sanded down to the exact thickness. The rest of them are sitting over there. I don't know how much more we're gonna do on this job today. I need to make a panel for another job, like an applied Shaker 45 panel. And then I need to make a drawer front for another job. So I need to do those two things first and foremost. So that white oak kitchen remodel, the last couple doors are getting stained, and Brandon and Jacob are hanging those doors right now, so they're not here. Carl is cutting out the Alabaster kitchen remodel job, which is what Jacob and I were working on this morning. He's cutting that out on the CNC. So we got the drawer fronts ready to be dovetailed, the side panels ready for spray, and the face frame's ready to be Craig jigged and put together. So that was pretty productive, but again, I need to get this panel and this drawer front made so they can get stained clear coated, and then we'll just go from there. And if I have time today, I'll start Craig jigging those Alabaster kitchen remodel face frames. I have our Craig jig machine set up to pocket screw or make our pocket holes into our face frames here for the Alabaster kitchen remodel. 13/16 material. There's settings for 1/2 inch, 3/4 or 1.5. I just take the 3/4 and I set it back a hair. For the 13/16 thick material, turns out super nice. We only do the tops and the bottoms, obviously. The left and the right hand side pieces don't get pocket holes. Beech material is dense, very dense, even letting it rev up. It doesn't love it. And this is a new bit too, or a decently new bit, so. But that's all good. I have 8 of the cabinets done. I think there's 10 more to do. Let it rev up. Put our holes in. I'm going to show you guys something here in a minute. On the wider pieces, I can push the Craigs in a little bit, leave a little bit more space on the outside. But on the 1.5 inch pieces, obviously we don't have that luxury. So the Craigs are towards the outside and there's no space on the inside. It works out well though. It's just, you have to make sure you're lined up perfectly or you'll blow it out. So if you don't want to do that, there, 9 done. How many more left do we have? 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left to do. Keep cooking on this, and then Jacob will be back. We'll start putting these face frames together. All of our face frame material is now Craig jigged, both sides. So, when Jacob gets back, he just went to lunch really quick. He's gonna start putting those together. I need to sand down a drawer front, a panel, and then I need to make a drawer box. Once that's completed, we can get those stained, clear coated, the drawer box we can get clear coated, and I'll start helping him put the face frames together, making sure everything's perfect, double check the measurements. Hopefully we can get them sanded to the vertical belt sander, and then we'll double check the drawer box measurements again, and then palm sand everything and ready for spray tomorrow and Friday, or tomorrow is Friday, holy smokes, for tomorrow. Not sure if we'll get that far. Been building face frames for a little while. A bunch of the uppers are done. Some of the lowers are done. How's it going over here? Coming along. Talking about spam calls. Get a lot of spam calls. Every day. Got that glue in the seam. Line it up perfectly. Clamp it when I like it, right there. Take me 1.25 inches. Go on the inside. Really locks it in. Then I'll take a 1 inch on the outside so it doesn't blow out all of the end grain. Declamp. And I'll do my bottom piece here. Make sure it looks good. Glue it. And rinse and repeat it here. This is going to be a drawer stack. I gave Jakey all the uppers because they're the easy ones.
That's what we like.
Isn't that right?
That's good.
Nah, it's because that way then he can fly through them. And then I can go slower on the lowers. There's just more more rails. That one's in. Get some glue. Right here. And then make sure it's perfect. Clamp. 1.25 inches on the inside so that seam gets locked in tight. And go back with 1 inch. Could use all inch, but I like that 1.25 inches because it really locks it. Now I need to find my heights here. Should just cut me a spacer block, but I'm too lazy to right now to walk over there and do that. Top one's 5. Give me a 4-inch tall drawer box. The rest of them should be 6s, which will give me a 5-inch tall drawer box. There we go. Clamp, double check, double screw with the 1.25 inches because it's not going into end grain. I got the big boy drill. Jakey got the little drill. He's got the big drill over there too. It's just the... Yeah, you got the angular drill. Got the angular. See if it's all going to come out correct. I think it will here. There we go. Lock it in. My pencil just took a nosedive. Let's clamp that in now. Double check. Yep. Double screw. That drill is like elite. You can use a short bit based on how it works. You can get it right in there. Where the regular drill you have to use the longer bit you gotta be careful that you don't like overextend, snap the bit off or hurt yourself, which I've done before. It's not great. See what that is here. Pretty much perfect there. Perfect there. Okay. Screw it in. This definitely has more power though, but it does have a bigger battery. So now we rinse and repeat it on this side. And then we have Lazy Susan, a lower, Lazy Susan, lower, upper. Then we have a big one that we have to sand before we can put together because it's too wide to fit through the vertical belt sander. We have all of our face frames together now, made out of beech wood, 13/16 thick. We're gonna take them over once we double check them to the vertical belt sander and get them down to 3/4 of an inch thick. Then we'll bring them back over here and palm sand them.
Sand them again.
Jacob and I are vertical belt sanding all of our beech face frames for this Alabaster kitchen remodel, going from 13/16 thick, 3/4 of an inch thick. Almost done here. We have a few more passes to do on 80 and then a few more passes to do on 150 grit. And then these will be ready to get palm sanded. They've already been double checked. So that's done. But the palm sanding takes the longest. We just want to make sure everything's perfect, everything's cleaned up before they go to the spray booth over there and get sent through the oven, covered in our product that is tinted Alabaster. Jake and I have a bunch of our face frames over there sanded. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 left. I think there's 18 cabinets, so we're 2/3 of the way done. Trying to get this done here before Jacob leaves. And then it's nice because we have all the drawer boxes cut out and the bottoms. They need dovetailed and put together, but those are cut out. The skin side panels are cut out and face frames will be done. So the skins and the face frames can get sprayed tomorrow, which will be good. Got that great. And then tomorrow I have to measure, but I can be doing shelving and drawer boxes this weekend. And some tomorrow too. We're just using 150 grit, getting all of the grain knocked down, make sure everything's nice and flush, cleaned up, no saw marks, no nothing. That looks not great. So when they go to spray them in the spray booth and get sent through the oven, everything just comes out perfect, or as perfect as humanly possible. Able to get all the face frames completed, all the skin side panels completed, and all the drawer boxes cut out, bottoms, tops, sides, everything for this Alabaster kitchen remodel. Crazy busy day. Brandon pretty much finished up at the white oak kitchen remodel. I think he has to like drill handles tomorrow, put in an applied side panel, just screw it in from the inside, and then he has to put on like 3 drawer fronts and level those. So he'll be there a decent amount tomorrow. Jacob's going to be back here in the warehouse to keep working on this Alabaster kitchen remodel. And I'm going to go measure for another kitchen remodel. So tomorrow's going to be another busy day. I'm not sure how much I'm going to video because I'm going to be measuring. I don't like to video when I'm measuring. I need to focus. So we'll see if I put out a video tomorrow. But Jacob's going to be putting together the drawer boxes and maybe cutting out all the shelving for the Alabaster kitchen remodel. And then this weekend, there's a bunch I need to do. I could put together the cabinet shells, S-H-E-L-S, shells. Maybe edge band the shelving if that doesn't get completed. Get all the trim built. Spray the drawer boxes with clear coat. A million things. So we'll see you either tomorrow or Saturday. Adios.